In the first place, I hope you will live 23 years longer. Mr. Tom Lefroy's birthday was yesterday, so that you are very near of an age. After this necessary preamble, I shall proceed to inform you that we had an exceeding good ball last night, and that I was very much disappointed at not seeing Charles Fowl of the party, as I had previously heard of his being invited. In addition to our set at the Harwoods' ball, we had the Grants, St. John's, Lady Rivers, her 3 daughters and a son, Mr. and Miss Heathcote, Mrs. Lefevre, 2 Mr. Watkins, Mr. J. Portal, Miss Deans, 2 Miss Ledgers, and a tall clergyman who came with them, whose name Mary would never have guessed. We were so terrible good as to take James in our carriage, though there were 3 of us before. But indeed he deserves encouragement for the very great improvement which has lately taken place in his dancing. Miss Heathcote is pretty, but not near so handsome as I expected. Mr. H. began with Elizabeth, and afterwards danced with her again. But they do not know how to be particular. I flatter myself, however, that they will profit by the 3 successive lessons which I have given them. You scold me so much in the nice long letter which I have this moment received from you, that I am almost afraid to tell you how my Irish friend and I behaved. Imagine to yourself everything most profligate and shocking in the way of dancing and sitting down together. I can expose myself, however, only once more, because he leaves the country soon after next Friday, on which day we are to have a dance at Ashe after all. He is a very gentlemanlike, good-looking, pleasant young man, I assure you. But as to our having ever met, except at these 3 balls, I cannot say much, for he is so excessively laughed at about me at Ashe that he is ashamed of coming to Steventon, and ran away when we called on Mrs. Lefroy a few days ago. We left Warren at Deangate in our way home last night, and he is now on his road to town. He left his love and etc. to you, and I will deliver it when we meet. Henry goes to Harden today in his way to his master's degree. We shall feel the loss of these 2 most agreeable young men exceedingly, and shall have nothing to console us till the arrival of the Coopers on Tuesday. As they will stay here till the Monday following, perhaps Caroline will go to the Ashe ball with me, though I dare say she will not. I danced twice with Warren last night, and once with Mr. Charles Watkins, and to my inexpressible astonishment I entirely escaped John Lifford. I was forced to find hard for it, however. We had a very good supper, and the greenhouse was illuminated in a very elegant manner. We had a visit yesterday morning from Mr. Benjamin Portal, whose eyes are as handsome as ever. Everybody is extremely anxious for your return, but as you cannot come home by the Ashe ball, I am glad that I have not fed them with false hopes. James danced with Alethea and cut up the turkey last night with great perseverance. You say nothing of the silk stockings. I flatter myself, therefore, that Charles has not purchased any, as I cannot very well afford to pay for them. All my money is spent in buying white gloves and pink Persian. I wish Charles had been at Manydown, because he would have given you some description of my friend, and I think you must be impatient to hear something about him. Henry is still hankering after the regulars, and as his project of purchasing the adjutancy of the Oxfordshire is now over, he has got a scheme in his head about getting a lieutenancy and adjutancy in the 86th, a new raised regiment, which he fancies will be ordered to the Cape of Good Hope. I heartily hope he will, as usual, be disappointed in this scheme. We have trimmed up and given away all the old paper hats of Mamma's manufacture. I hope you will not regret the loss of yours. After I had written the above, we received a visit from Mr. Tom Lefroy and his cousin George. The latter is really very well behaved now, and as for the other, he has but one fault, which time will, I trust, entirely remove. It is that his morning coat is a great deal too light. He is a very great admirer of Tom Jones, and therefore wears the same colored clothes, I imagine, which he did when he was wounded. Sunday. By not returning till the 19th, you will exactly contrive to miss seeing the Coopers, which I suppose it is your wish to do. We have heard nothing from Charles for some time. One would suppose they must have sailed by this time, as the wind is so favorable. What a funny name Tom has got for his vessel, but he has no taste in names, as we well know, and I dare say he christened it himself. I am sorry for the Beeches' loss of their little girl, especially as it is the one so much like me. I condole with Miss M on her losses, and with Eliza on her gains, and am ever yours, J.A.